Happy Friday, everyone. I'd like to thank all of you for participating in our building meetings this week. Obviously, they were extremely important, and the discussions were valued. I do want to remind everyone that we will be voting both in the high school for building rep positions, as well as a ratification vote for the MOA to extend the CBA over the next 2 years on Wednesday, May 12th. Voting will take place in each and every building throughout the workday, so please speak to your reps and find out where your voting location is and make sure you vote. And again, remember, if you're in the high school, you're voting on two things. You're voting on your building rep election as well as the ratification vote. Every other building is voting just on the ratification vote. One point I would like to make this week is there has been some buzz around a particular clause in our contract, which I did actually write in the bulletin, but I want to kind of explain as well. So when we did the 2018 to 2021 CBA, we negotiated a benefit for members that had to leave work early. And you can find that benefit on page 38 of the CBA, and it is listed in Article 9, leave allowance, under A, sick leave, and number 5, sick leave increments. And if you go to the third bullet, this is what the language says. This clause may be utilized by a unit member once per semester. If a member reports to work for at least 2 hours and becomes ill, or is a caretaker of a family member who becomes ill, that member will only be charged a half of a sick leave day. If a member reports to work for at least 4 hours and becomes ill, or is a caretaker of a family member who becomes ill, that member will not be charged a sick leave day. So I think what is happening here, or at least what the district is kind of coming and saying to us, is that people are extending the intent of what this language is. So for instance, I would imagine this is something pretty hard to plan for, because there's only 2 reasons you leave under this clause. Is you came to work and you got sick, or you came to work and someone that you care for got sick, okay? And so, you know, planning that a week ahead of time is impossible in that language. Now, I will say this, the district doesn't necessarily have a right to ask for a reason there, but if asked, the only 2 reasons we should be giving, because the only 2 reasons we're allowed to access that benefit are that we are sick or someone that is in our care is sick. So a child is sick and needs to be picked up from school. So at least from what we're hearing and they're telling us, members are kind of taking some liberties with this language and using it in a different way. And in turn, it's causing a reaction from them to start asking for various reasons, and then even in some cases denying days. So I want to be clear on what the language says and what the intent is. So there are only 2 reasons why you would access this benefit. And again, it's 1 time per semester. You came to work and you got sick and didn't feel well and you needed to leave and you went home, or you came to work and someone that's under your care got sick and you needed to leave to help them. Okay? So again, if you're asked why you're accessing this benefit, those are your 2 reasons. All right? So I think we can clarify there and at least be able to answer why we may be leaving and accessing that clause if asked, because there's only 2 reasons listed in the contract, and so make sure you're using that benefit for one of those 2 reasons. All right, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all of the MTA moms out there this weekend, and don't forget, Wednesday, May 12th, we'll be voting in every one of the buildings. All right, enjoy the weekend. Happy Mother's Day to the MTA moms.